Hey, today I'm going to be talking all about Foote trannies. These are trannies, not transaxles. They're 3-speed. They're commonly found in more of the chain-driven tractors than not, I'd say. I've never found one with a Peerless 700 series in it. I'm not saying that they're not out there. Of course they are. They were more in the rear-engine riders, though, that I've seen. But as far as the Dynamarks go, the Lawn Scouts, the Craftsmen like Danny's, they had Footes. Then there's other ones like this Peerless back in here. You can see it. That came out of an older one. That's a Peerless 250, I think. They're similar, but that's way better than a Foote. But to get back to Footes, this is your typical Foote, 3-speed, belt to chain, and I guess I'll show you what happens when you build them incorrectly. This was out of my racing one, and it didn't have the right kind of lube in it, and that crack came, and you can just wiggle the shaft. All around. So that's one of the bad things about these Footes. If you were ever going to build a racing tractor, I would never ever use a Foote 3-speed. I found that out. The guys on Haymo told me back when I was building mine. They said, you know, you're pretty much going to get a Peerless 700, and that or the Peerless 250 or 300 series like I have back there, because the Footes just don't hold up. They said it might hold up to like an 8 horsepower class, but it's not holding up to anything bigger. Well, I had a 10 horsepower, and I thought, you know, stock 10, governed and everything, it should be fine. Well, as you can see, that one down here cracked. So then instead of using grease, I started running slop, I call it. It's grease and gear oil mixture. I ended up breaking one of the shifter keys, I believe they're called, right here. I broke one of them off from power shifting, and just dumping the clutch would do it too. And I ended up chipping the gears, which are in this tranny now. So then I ended up taking the gears, the one section of gears, I think it was this section of gears, out of the other tranny, and mixing them together, and it ended up not working. But the reason I'm doing all this now is because my friend Danny, this is his tractor, if you've seen other videos, his trail tractor build, we rode it for maybe a total of 20 minutes. And the shaft on it ended up moving around like that other one. It wasn't cracked. I think the bushing is just gone. So went in every gear still, but the belt kept popping off. Because as you can imagine, if your shaft's going like this, it's going to be hard for the belt to keep on. Even with all the belt tension or belt guides and all the tension and everything, it just doesn't stay on. So I have 3 Footes, and I decided I was going to take the gears. Well, this Foote tranny was the one that I messed up and put the bad gears in. So I thought if I took the good gears out of here, then everything worked. I could put them in this bottom with the top, because some of these tops are different. I was going to use the same top that came from the gears, and it should work. I'm not guaranteeing it will, but yeah. So pretty much, if you're going to do anything other than run a stock gearing, or maybe like a 4 in the back but stock up front, or like 5 in the back and stock up front, I would maybe consider that, but not anything like what I used to run was a 7.5 to a 4, 7.5 on the engine being and a 4 on the training. It's a good way to destroy your tranny. If you're going to do that, just give it 700 series. Yeah, if you've never seen a Foote tranny, this is what one looks like inside. Just have your gear down here. It turns the bottom shaft. So, I would suggest though, if you were going to use it for off-road with normal gearing, or like a little bit sped up like I'd said, because this is what happens to grease. It just digs ruts, you can see, and then the gears don't get as well. I mean, look, they barely have any grease on them at all. And look, these things are covered with oil and grease. And that's from my concoction. What I would do is I would just put some grease in it, and not very much, you know, just probably about that much in the bottom, which I'd say would probably be about the thickness of the crescent wrench, just a little thin covering, and then just take gear oil and put in it and add as you need it. I mean, you just want a nice runny slop like that. That way it doesn't seep out. And if you're going to do that, I would probably put Permatex on it to keep it from running out. Although, don't be surprised if you're using the Foote that it may leak out of the top right there with the 4 screws. It may come out of there. If it does, it does. I mean, I've never had a whole lot come out of there, but it does come out. This is a little thicker than the original mixture, so it shouldn't come out as bad. But I'm going to get to work putting this back together, and look for updates on the Buddy's ATLM build. Like I said, right now we're just on hold because of the tranny, and the engine leaks oil really bad. I need a gasket. So, look for updates, and we'll see if the tranny works. So, yep, this is a little overview of Foote trannies, and rate if you liked it or if it helped you, and comment if you have any questions or any suggestions or anything, and subscribe, of course. Thank you.